I want to read some Brady material that I want to make sure that I'm clear on one matter, because the district attorney's office, they publicly state that they do not meddle in family custody cases, child custody cases. That's their public stance. That is not true. They will absolutely intervene and meddle in a child custody case, as is my experience, my personal experience, if it benefits a wealthy family, and especially a family of attorneys. So you better believe I'm not the only person this has happened to. So here's so Brady material, as you know, the DA's office has to release information if it's exculpatory, if it supports the defense. And this is important because this is the moment where they decide to put a no contact order between my child and I. July 26, 2019, I received a voicemail from the victim stating that she knew the defendant had been arrested, of course tied to what was happening to me, the previous night, and requested that her daughter be added to a no contact list as a condition of his bond. So that's important because she's asking for a favor. They've asked for favors along the way. They've asked, one favor they asked is, make this man a criminal. They're asking for another favor, put my daughter on a no contact list. The DA's office knows there's a child custody case going on. I have not met my daughter at this point, and they are placing yet another barrier between my child and myself. I'm a father trying to be united with my child. I'm now fighting two battles, and it's getting harder and harder because the criminal justice system is at every point doing everything they can to serve the interests of this wealthy family. She mentions a lot of connections with some very powerful attorneys, including the largest criminal defense firm in Tarrant County she has personal connections with. She states here, this is the DA's office, her main goal is to have no contact and keep him on probation as long as possible. So my ex-girlfriend is making very clear what her plan is. My plan is to use these criminal charges to make sure that he cannot contact our daughter, and I want to keep him on probation as long as possible. It's been 3 years now. So again, that was the plan. She asked for it. They gave it to her. The only reason that I was able to undo the no contact thing, again, was because my attorney, who's very good, went to a judge and argued that this is this man's daughter. How can he be on a no contact? How could she be on a no contact list with her father? Luckily, the judge agreed. And I to this day, I remember in court, family court, sitting, Lord DeAngelis' court. This was the day, September 2 years ago, that I was finally given rights to see my daughter, and I still didn't see her for another 2 months, if I imagine right. But when the judge, my ex-girlfriend's attorney, stood up and said, "Your Honor, we have a no contact bonkedness from the district attorney's office," and what they didn't know was that my attorney had undone that.
Right.
So my attorney says, "No, my daughter has been removed from the list," and my ex-girlfriend lost her. You can imagine. She stood up, flipped out. She said verbally that the district attorney's office assured me that my daughter was on the list. So even at that point, the district attorney's office knows they're meddling in a child custody case. They did it, and the plan almost worked. I imagine there are other people out there who aren't as fortunate as me to have, I don't know, I'm a guy who digs deep, so I've spent a lot of time researching emails and documents, finding out how I was screwed over. I imagine there are a lot of people who maybe don't realize that the district attorney's office has meddled in their child custody case. I'm fortunate enough, I thank God that the police officer who was assigned to my case was an honest person and recounted everything that was happening to me. So I understood the extent to which injustices were being done as a favor to a wealthy family. So there was obstruction of my case. It's documented. There was meddling in my child custody case by the government, knowing that they were meddling in a child custody case. They cannot say that they did not know. They knew. I can read Brady material. They knew that there was a child custody case that was going on. They knew that they're doing X, Y, and Z. But this all comes down to the influence and power that the wealthy have in Tarrant County.